and the fellowship at our meetings. And many of us have actually met friends that we now know for many years, decades in fact. So I want to celebrate that, the fact that we've met our friends. And this is a song. It's not up on the slide. It's called You've Got a Friend in Me. And I remembered to put the capo on first.
There we go.
There you go. It's a Randy Newman song. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, and you just remember what your old pal said, boy, you got a friend in me. Oh yeah, you got a friend in me. Oh, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got troubles, I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, we can see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me. Oh yeah, you got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too. None of them will ever love you the way I do. Just me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me, oh yeah. You got a friend in me, just saying. You got a friend in me.
Thank you for that musical thought. Alrighty, up next we have our meeting front line. Spur reporter Michelle is doing double duty today. She's working and giving a little talk. Spur publishers Ted Michaels, photographer is Don Wentz, audio visual is Dennis O'Brien, reader was Katerina. Where are you? Did anyone get a hug? Yeah.
Good job.
That was good. Videographer is Niall, well, there we go, so I can read. Okay, and up next, I think we're a couple arms shy of a sergeant, but if they were here, they would be sergeants at arms. But they're not, so they're not here. All right, interweb manifestationist? We're getting way down the ends. I just have to say about that. It's Kathy Coyle, public outreach is Kelly Bowders, and Niall's up again. Did he get 2 slides?
Yeah, he did.
Wow, okay, there we go.
Special.
There we go. All right. Introduction of visiting Rotarians and guests. So first of all, Rotarians, visiting Rotarians. Are there any visiting Rotarians?
I'd like to introduce Bonnie Schmidt, a Rotarian from the nightclub, the Night Owls, they call themselves.
Very good. Hi. Okay, we're going to have to remember how to do that. Remember the person who introduces is supposed to wrap up, and this is fine. Then we're all supposed to say, hello. Yeah, maybe by the last meeting there. I don't know, maybe part of the blue badge requirements. I'm not sure how we got out of practice on that. All right, any other visiting Rotarians? Any visitors we have tonight? People who are not Rotarians, but who are here and visiting. So we'll start over here. Right there. Mr. Barry.
President Mark and fellow Rotarians, I'd like you to know my better 3/4. Claudia Barry.
Wow, very good.
Tim,
A
stand up
fractional
again.
joke.
Don didn't get you.
Don's trying to
Oh,
get
you
you.
have to stand up and get your picture taken?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, and then we have a microphone in the back? We do? Does anyone have a microphone? Yes, we do.
Okay, hi, Rotarians. I'd like to introduce Barbara Limbaras, who is with Perfect Harmony Properties. And I think this is your third time being introduced, so she's going to be joining our club.
President Mark, fellow members, it's my pleasure to introduce Christina Cavallaro. Christina, if you may recognize the name, I don't know how recently, but she's writing a column for The Independent called Heart of the Valley, which I happened to notice a couple of months ago, I guess now. Anyway, Christina is the daughter of Elaine Perry, stepdaughter of Manuel, one of our very favorite members of the past. And so that was quite a revelation when I called her, because I thought she might add something about Rotary into her column. And that's how we connected.
Wow.
So, welcome, Christina.
While you're up, do you have anything
I
else?
now have an unfortunate announcement. Our past president, Randy Slentz, unfortunately had a massive stroke on Sunday. He was brought home, he's under hospice, and as I understand it, he's pretty much totally paralyzed, so not good. I haven't heard anything since yesterday, but so I don't think it probably makes any sense to make contact at this time, but certainly think of Randy. Thank you.
All right, let's keep our past president Randy in our thoughts and prayers. All right.
Gabriel,
We have
stand up.
Who's introducing? Me?
Yes.
Okay, Rotarians and,
President
wait,
Mark.
hold on.
So
President Mark.
Mark up here. Yes, fine.
Okay, President Mark
There
and
we go.
fellow Rotarians.
You've got this down. You could have a career in
I could
Rotary.
have a career in Rotary. It's iffy.
Yeah, it is iffy.
I-
It's the drinking.
It is the drinking, but I have to say, I'm so excited that you're here. This is Gabriel, help me with the, yeah.
Yes, last name.
Right, Gabriel Wright. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you're gonna be joining our club. I am so excited, thank you so much. Yeah.
Nicely done. Yeah, if it
Kinda.
ends with a join, remember, we really don't care what you said. Everything else is really good.
It's all good.
Yeah, we grade on a curve. Thank God for some of us. All right, announcements. Now we have a few that aren't on our normal docket here, and I was supposed to get reminded because somebody was supposed to stand up because they had an announcement, but they're talking over there, and they're not doing their announcement like they're supposed to do. There we go. Jiminy Christmas.
I was
Yeah, well, wait till the microphone, young lady.
I was pontificating. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
you were. So,
But
pay
now I can
attention.
profligate about the security of the club because I have a $200 check.
Woo!
Because you beautiful people last month when we were here helped me to clear out a large portion of my Rotary store samples that were hard to schlep around every week. So thank you very much, and Rotary, here is my donation. Yeah.
I'll give it to
Yay!
I'll give it to our treasurer.
You all saw that past president Sheila has the money there. Now I think Jim, do you have a quick 10-second announcement that if Sheila brings over a microphone, because you didn't get your slide in either?
Well, since many of you attend the local operas, this is a public service announcement, not a commercial. Just wanted to call attention to our opera that opens this weekend, and it's Daughter of the Regiment. It's a fun opera, fun all the way around. Nobody has to die. And one interesting thing is that Erie Mills, our artistic director that you see every time, that used to be one of her primary operas all around the world. So read the propaganda we have on the website, and
Are a
see
couple
you.
of our club members in it? Yes.
Yes, yes.
A few of our club members are in it, so come to find out who, because we're not going to tell you if you stay at home. Yes, so you have to actually go to the opera to find out.
How about everybody stand up who's involved with this opera?
That would be cheating. That would let people know.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Smith. All right. Now, on to the people who actually, oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, President Sheila, you are going to give an announcement as well.
Okay, fellow Rotarians, Mark received a message from Muriel Dean, and our past president, Phil Dean, he was found unresponsive, I guess, on Sunday by his wife at home. And so I talked to Muriel, but she didn't give me a lot of detail. But he is at the hospital, and he's breathing on his own. She said he's not doing well at this point, but they have high hopes. So I asked about phone calls, visits, and she said no. The plan is for him to go to rehab. And then once he's done with that and he's home, she would welcome phone calls, emails and cards. Do you have an update?
He's in rehab in Antioch.
Oh, he is in rehab now. Okay.
So
because I made a follow-up phone call, but she didn't respond. So
we will keep you in the loop. So right now, it's radio silence as he works through issues. But once he's home, I'm sure he'd love to hear from all of us.
Yes. So.
Well, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us.
A lot of
us.
But anyway,
so
I
you guys can
apologize.
self-select.
Yeah, I don't have any more detail or exactly what happened because she wasn't really forthcoming. But that's all I know, so I just wanted to share.
All right, so right now do nothing, and we're good at that. So, and then we'll let you know when that changes. All right, now, I'm looking for a couple of Rotarians who can send me a quick email, can approach me after the meeting today. How many in the room know who John Shirley was? Okay, that's good. How many knew him pretty well? A few of you. How many have a 3-minute story that they would be willing to share as a part of a presentation on Mr. Shirley in a few weeks from now? That might be a smaller group of you, but if you think about that and you think you could sort of do that in 3 minutes, because I really will hold you to that. So I know a lot of you have an hour-and-a-half story. That won't work because we're doing a number of things. We're trying to give, especially those club members who didn't get to know John personally, or didn't get to know him over a long span of time, because John really was quite an amazing Rotarian. He was a member of our club for decades, including being a past president, including being the person, oddly enough, maybe a lot of you didn't know this, but John Shirley is the person that the John Shirley Award is named after. And so I see a lot of you putting it together. Yeah, it's like, who knew that that was actually a real person and that he was a member of our club? But he was. And so for those of you who knew that and knew a little bit about why we named an award after him, a little bit of a snippet. I've got some videos where John himself talks about cool things that he did. I've got a video by Marty Plone, which was his thought for the day. And I got to actually be here when he gave that thought for the day. And Marty was truly an enormous fan of John Shirley. It is the reason that we have the John Shirley Council Chambers, because Marty, among others, championed that cause with the city of Livermore. And so we'll hear from Marty as well. And so we've got a program in a couple of weeks on the 16th of October, where I want to reintroduce you all to John Shirley and our efforts to endow the scholarship in his name in perpetuity. And we'll talk about all of those cool things. Yes, past President Sheila.
Would we maybe send out a little email to the whole club? Because you and I both know there's some people here that would have like big stories that you'll have to shrink.
Yeah, and if you have something where you don't want to get up and say it, but you could write it down, I'll take that as well. So yes, if our club secretary ever comes back, we will do that. I hear he's going to come back soon. So we will do that, and we'll put something out and ask for. But the other thing is, even without that, if you have a fantastic story, you're a little shy, you want to just write me a quick note, we can throw that in as well. Thank you all for that. Next, symphony announcement, Mr. Barry. Give that man a microphone.
Yes, sir. Oh, I don't need a microphone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We've heard that before, haven't we? Well, it's my pleasure to be, for the third year running, the president of the Livermore-Amador Symphony Association. And these 70 volunteer musicians have a season of concerts that are wonderful to attend. We're encouraging you to come. I have a brochure at each of your tables for you to take. And this coming Saturday kicks off our symphony season with a free concert. You're all invited to a free concert.
How much does it cost?
It costs several hundred free things.
Okay.
Right in front of the Bankhead Theater, Pops on the Green. We're playing a really lively program of Pops music. Pops is popular music.
Oh.
Not symphonic music, but popular music. We're trying to make symphonic music more popular. But anyway, please take a look at this. Come to our concerts this year. Buy a season subscription. It's an excellent deal.
All right, thank you.
Mark.
Yay. Pops on the Green, sponsored by Livermore-Amador Symphony Guild. What next? We've got Avenues of Service on October 19th. There is still time to get your tickets for that, so please don't forget if you have any interest in that. Moving forward, we've got a new member talk by Michelle.
Yay!
All right. Welcome, Michelle.
Good afternoon. Hello. And I was told to smile and not hide. So I'm going to try to do that. I thought, what can I tell you about myself quickly that wouldn't bore you to death? So I've kind of tried to encapsulate, what is really important to me. So one of the things that's important to me is my work. And I work at LARPD. I'm an HR manager. Yes. Thank you. And I've had the opportunity over my career to work at a lot of really different and great places. So I'm from Indiana, but I've moved all around. I started my career at GE. And so the big thing for me, the three things that are important to me, are problem solving, helping people, and learning something new. So as long as I can do those things, I'm pretty happy wherever I am. So I think we can do that here, and I hope to help out with Rotary doing the same. So I've gotten to see a lot of different places, and that's important to me. The other thing that's important to me, and I was talking at my table, because you never know when you're going to run into some other alma maters. So I'm a big fan of sports. So if you ever see me around and you want to talk about sports, generally I'd probably watch it all. My dad was a PE teacher, and we were very into, every day in the evening was a sports day at my house. And so unfortunately or fortunately, I went to Purdue undergrad, and I love Purdue, but their football team is not so great, and if you watched the Notre Dame game against Purdue last week, it was brutal. But nevertheless, I am tried and true Boilermaker. The other thing I will say, kind of a little bit about what makes me tick and what I appreciate, is both Michigan State, my master's program, and then Purdue. They were both land-grant schools. And so I really kind of gravitate to those places where I feel like they're authentic kind of people. And so for me, that's really important. And that's why I just really still love those institutions. Now the other thing that I love is my family. And so yes, there's gratuitous pictures here, hopefully, and of a fish, yes. And so I have 3 kids, which keep me really busy. And the thing that's really great about living in Livermore, I've lived here for 10 years, is that they swim in our pools at LARPD, they do sports on our sports field, they're there tonight. My daughter Gabby, who's down there at the Rotary, she came to the Rotary function with me, the crab feed. She actually has just gotten on the council between the City Youth Council. Youth Advisory Council, thank you, Mark. And so it's really great to be a part of the community because my kids are really a part of the community as well. And so, and my son, as you can see. I have twins, so I will say Mitchell and Claire, the twins, they're 13, and they go to Mendenhall, and Gabby's a junior, and she goes to Granada. And they're all big sports people, and they're very good academically, so I'm lucky. Lucky mom. And then the other thing, lastly, I am from Indiana. And so I had to, David Letterman's from Indiana. And if you ask my mother, who lives with me, by the way, she went to Ball State, and so did David Letterman. And she had Spring Sing with David Letterman back in the day. And so I have to do the top 10 list. So, things that are my favorites. The Color Green, The Book to Kill a Mockingbird. My favorite sport is volleyball. I love to work out at Joya. I like to swim. I love seafood, so the crab feed's awesome. Yes. My favorite state is Maine. When I lived on the East Coast, I spent a little bit of time there. I love Acadia. I love all the cities up in Portland, great places. My favorite musical, yes, my daughter said I was in high school. I was on the volleyball team, but I was student council president, and I was also in the drama club. She's like, you were one of those? And yes, I was. so my favorite hobby right now, when you have 3 kids, is going to my kids' activities. My favorite quote, although I have many of them, but the one that I'll share is by a Rush song, because I feel like if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. And my favorite service group is Rotary. So thank you.
This explains so much. All right, Gal, you've got 5 minutes. Can you get it done?
4. Boy, you guys love me, don't you?
I do. You have so much good news to bring. You bring nothing but good news. That's what I like to bring you up here.
All right.
Do you need me to stay?
Yes, please.
All right.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
So I'm going to quickly cover update of TRF goals and the TRF recognition. I send out emails to the people who are to get the recognition. I see only half of them here, so it'll be quicker.
What's TRF?
That's going to be covered next. Wait for that. So, and then I put together an action plan, the Rotary Foundation, on what we are going to be doing in 24-25, somewhat better, improved than the past couple of years. All right, next one. So we set the same goals as the last year, 72,000 for annual fund. And we actually got 12,300, and the president said that was good, but we are already quarter finished, so it should be 25, but we are at 17. Corleo Plus is at 17. And in addition, we set goals to increase the Paul Harris Fellow, Paul Harris Society, and major donors, and Bequest Society. What do all these mean? I don't know, never heard those things. So we are going to have a detailed discussion and description of these things so everyone knows what they are. What's Paul Harris PHS?
No one ever described it to me.
Oh, come on. All right, so what we are going to do is we're going to send out explanation of all the recognitions that Rotary Foundation offers. Sometimes I get embarrassed, and even some of the senior member came and asked me, hey, if I donate to Polio Plus, does it count towards the Paul Harris Fellow? I said, of course it does. Yes. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to clear up a lot of these myths people have and hopefully answer those questions. And I'm sure a lot of you say, what's a Bequest Society? Well, we're going to talk about that. So, before I get into details, so let me see. We have, next. I know Patrice called me and said she's not going to be here. Gordon, come on up. Christian Ising, come on up. MaryAnne, please come up. Don Sweeney is not here. Dale is not here. Jacqueline is not here. Kathy is not here. Brian, come on. Can you? All right. Or I can come there.
I'm coming.
He's an English driver anyway. How old is he? Right. Older than me. That is really old.
Hey.
All right, here we go.
And I tell you, enjoy doing this to recognize the people. And next thing. So what are we going to do is, I enlisted additional help in the Rotary Foundation, TRF. And I have member Dave Shuffler, he joined us. Don Vance agreed to help me. Can you take a picture of your own? Okay, of course I got Irving and Pat continue to help me. So what we are going to do is take time, give you a better understanding of the Rotary Foundation, Rotary International in general, and why is that important. So we're going to have a program to go do that. And one of the things is the wealth of information is on myrotary.org. I was sad to find out more than 40% of us do not have a login. So we are going to have someone with a computer help those to actually log in so we can go do that. That's one of the things we're going to work on. And also it's very important, if we were to do Rotary Direct online contribution one time or a recurring, that helps a long way. I bet a lot of people don't know. In fact, I get some questions, who do I write the check to? Well, that's a legitimate question because they don't clearly understand the difference between Rotary Club, Rotarian Foundation, and the Rotary Foundation. So I would have to help explain to everybody that. It's a little confusing, but we're going to try to make it easy. Now, one other thing we're going to do is, for every Rotarian will receive a letter that tells them what their current level of recognition is, how far away from the next one, and what are all the opportunities they have. Again, it's all voluntary, it's all do it what you can, so it's not a pressure, but it is an information that helps you decide. So, and with that, I will also tell what these different recognition levels are. Okay? So that's the plan.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right. Rolling.
Oh my God.
Quick.
This is exciting. Hey everybody, I just want to say on a daily basis, I get calls, emails about hope and people that have no hope. And I am so blessed because I get turned to, if you look at this card right here, it says Hope Fest in the front. In the back, there's 20 agencies. There's an additional 20 on top of these 20 that I can call. and they can partner with us and provide hope. This event this Saturday is all about that one thing. And so at Hope Fest, it starts at 4:30. It's right after the symphony. And it's a free barbecue. We have Ronnie Forbes, One Nation Dream Makers is one of our partners. But we're gonna have food for 1,000. Last year we had 500. But on the stage to open it at 4:30, if you're able to come, it's free. Will be Ronnie Forbes, Mayor John Marchand, David Halbert, and then Nellie Martinez. Nellie Martinez is one of the leaders of our Spanish community. Half of this event will be in Spanish, half will be in English. We should have a real blend of wonderful people. But the idea is that there's a lot of hope, and agencies will be there, things like Free Phones, One Nation Dream Makers, just a whole host of different groups and organizations to give hope. So if you're available and you want to come and have a free hamburger, potato salad and all that, we'd love to see you there. Finally, I want to say this club brings hope. Norm handed me these today. Next week, $7,000 from this club is going to go out. Thank you, Norm. And an additional $35,000 to $4,000 is to come from our partner, Livermore Valley Education Fund. It's so great to be in a club that could bring hope, and thank you all. Come this Saturday. 4:30, and it's downtown Livermore Park. These are on your table if you're interested.
And come next Wednesday to see our Rotary grants given out, see your good work, your money at work here, and to see President-elect Pat run his very first meeting, as I will be on vacation. So, if you're interested in that for either the sort of, traffic accident, sort of a, can I slow down and look thing, or because it's going to be amazing, either way, come and find out. And this week, we have our very own MaryAnne the detailed paperwork of buying a house in stunning triplicate. No, that's not what she's going to talk about. Maybe a little bit. All right, and before MaryAnne gets up here, Ted's going to introduce her. So let's hear about MaryAnne through Ted's introduction.
Well, it's my pleasure to introduce MaryAnne. We've been friends with her and her husband for a number of years. MaryAnne's been a club member for over 28 years. She joined the club in 1996. She's a dedicated real estate professional with over 40 years experience in the Bay Area. She's been serving real estate needs of individuals and families in the Tri-Valley of Livermore, Pleasanton, Dublin, as well as San Ramon, Danville, Brentwood, Discovery Bay, and Contra Costa County, Tracy, and Mountain House in San Joaquin County. She's a longtime resident of the area. Since the 60s, she has firsthand knowledge of the real estate markets in our surrounding area. She's received too many awards for me to mention. She gave me a long list. Don't have time right now. She does tremendous repeat and referral business from satisfied clients, and she believes that honesty, integrity, and professionalism should always be the qualities involved in serving clients. Sounds like she's a Rotarian, I guess, huh? On a personal level, she's been a resident of Livermore since 1996. She grew up in Alabama and Louisiana and loves Louisiana food. She's been married to Rudy for 1,000 years and has 2 daughters and 7 granddaughters. And according to her, she says, someone else must produce the boys. So, our own MaryAnne Rozsa.
Okay. Basically, I thought about what I was going to do tonight, and I'm not going to do something, I'm not going to talk about California real estate or our city of Livermore real estate. I'm going to talk about something that's happened all across the country, and it's really made a serious impact on the real estate industry. Have many of you heard of the Sitzer-Burnett lawsuit? Yeah. A few. Okay. Well, I'm going to give you the history of what happened with that lawsuit. This class action suit is called the Sitzer-Burnett lawsuit that started in the Midwest and brought action against the National Association of Realtors.
think of that as the IRS of real estate. They make the rules. And the 4 largest real estate franchises. Realogy Holdings Corporation, actually my brand is in the Realogy. That's Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, Cochrane, Sotheby's, and a few other brands. Home Services of America, they're affiliated with Berkshire Hathaway, RE/MAX, and Keller Williams Real Estate. These are the defendants for conspiring to require home sellers to pay the broker representing the buyer of their homes, which the suit stated were inflated amounts in violation of the federal antitrust law. Another big guy there. The defendant's conspiracy has centered around NAR's adoption and implementation of a rule that requires all brokers to make a blanket, non-negotiable offer of buyer-broker compensation, the buyer-broker commission rule, while listing any property on a multiple listing service, short MLS. The defendants and their co-conspirators collectively possess market power in local markets for broker services through the control of the local MLS, and MLS is a database of properties listed for sale in different geographical areas. These are where the majority of homes are sold in the United States. So to effectively market your house, you need to go on the MLS service. As soon as I get a listing, I put it on the MLS, goes out to all the buyers, goes out to buyer agents that have buyers, so we want to be effective for our sellers. Most MLSs are controlled by a local NAR association, and access to the MLS is conditioned on the brokers following all mandatory rules of the NAR's handbook on MLS policy, and the buyer-broker commission rule is mandatory. The suit alleges that this policy has saddled home sellers with a cost that would be borne by the buyer in a competitive market. We are in a competitive market. So absent this method of the buyer-broker rule, it goes away. The buyer brokers would be paid by their clients and not the seller. In a competitive market, the seller would pay nothing to the buyer broker, who would be paid instead by the buyer. And with the commission by the seller would be set at a level only to reimburse their broker. So, plaintiffs in class defined here sues the defendants violation of the federal antitrust laws and seek treble damages, injunction relief, plus cost of the lawsuit, including reasonable attorney fees. So, what was adjudicated in March of this year? Release of liability. The agreement would release the NAR, over 1 million plus NAR members, all state and territorial local realtor associations, all realtor MLSs, and brokerages with an NAR member as a principal, this is important, whose residential transaction volume in 2022 was $2 billion and under, from any liability for the types of claims brought forth in these cases on behalf of the home sellers related to broker commissions. So, what did they settle for? NAR settled for $418 million. Realogy Corporation, which my company is one of them, paid $84 million. I don't have the figures for the other 3 big brokers, and I'm pretty sure it was pretty high, because the total was $900 million, with $340 million retained by the legal firm. Reasonable fee? I don't know. They got a whole lot of bucks. So, concluding, now the California's gotten into it now too. This is all across the United States, guys. This is not just for California and Nevada. This is everywhere. Oh, this is everywhere. I forget about it. I want to talk with my hands. Anyway, now there's something coming down the pipe that the California Senate has a bill, also known as the Buyer-Broker Representation Agreement Bill, has passed the Senate committee and is expected to take effect on January 1st. The bill is to improve transparency and consumer satisfaction by acquiring a written agreement between a buyer and their agent that cannot last longer than 3 months. The bill also requires this agreement to be executed as soon as possible, but no later when the buyer signs the offer to purchase. So, now we can go on to this. Okay, I may have to choose this. How do I get this? Okay. Why did the NAR enter into this settlement? Well, it had to find some kind of release liability for members and preserve consumer choices, and also approve settlement achieves both of these goals in a path forward. When they first started this out with this suit, what was wanted by the class action suit was such an egregious amount that the NAR, if they had agreed to that, would have had to declare bankruptcy. So they kept negotiating, and they got it down to the $418 million. And in those terms, as I said, it released 1 million plus members, Realtor Association, MLS, anything that the NAR touched got released. First of this was the volume for the brokerage from 2022, 2 billion or below. Those are the really small brokerages. With the brokers who were 2 billion or more, they had to opt in for that settlement and pay a lot of money. This is why they have $900 million to hopefully distribute to sellers that feel that they were wronged, that they did not explain to them that they could negotiate their commissions. Go to the next one. Oh, you were going to give me the thing. I like it better for you doing it. So this is really fun. This is one of the main things that they did. Buyers' compensation offers were moved off of the MLS as of August 17th. So we can no longer put any kind of commission for a buyer's broker on the MLS. So it was so easy in the past, it seemed to be so transparent, because you always knew when you were representing a buyer that this was what your commission was going to be. It was stated in the MLS. That was stated in stone. And I was never asked by another seller agent or a seller to reduce my commission, because it was in stone in the MLS, and that's what was expected you would receive. I could reduce my commission and pay some money out to one of my buyers. I could pay for some of their closing costs, but nobody ever asked me to make my commission smaller. So now the compensation is through consultation and negotiation. Real estate is a business that is negotiation. It is we're constantly negotiating contracts for our sellers, for our buyers. So that's nothing new. But also what happened is that they had to remove every notification of commissions in our entire archive of souls. Those were all gone too. So you can never look back and see what anybody was paid for a buyer commission, which seems pretty extreme, but they had to do that. Now there's this new form that's called the buyers must sign a written agreement with the buyer's agent. It's 5 pages long, and in that agreement, it states that the buyer now is going to commit to some kind of fee for the buyer's agent. This was never in the past did we do This form was kind of available in the past, but nobody used it. So now we have to use it. And so we're committing our buyers to pay us some commission before they even buy the house. So it's basically, it's just a lot of things that have changed for us. So we're only in this little over a month. We started on the 17th of August. We're a little bit past the 17th of September. So we're all just kind of getting our heads together on this. So the 418 million, we were actually able to take it out over 4 years, because if we had to pay it all in 1 year, that would pretty much have been a terrible blow for the NAR. So is it possible for compensation to convey by other means? I can't use the MLS anymore. Nowhere can I put it in there. Yes, I can put it on my flyers. I can put it on a sign. I can put it on my website. I can put it in an email to another agent. I can put it in a text. Just nowhere on the MLS. Okay. How the settlement affects home sellers and home buyers. Listing agents and sellers can continue to offer compensation. Basically, when I take a listing, I will be negotiating